Ladies and gentlemen, stuff such and whatnot, and do not forget the whatnot. My name is Phyro, and we have a big show. We got all the guys here. Introduce you guys.
You go first, Nick.
Furious Nation, Nick Fiore, Furious Nation. Gracias. We'll talk about him, but Nick Fiore, Furious Nation, joining Pyro Productions, as well as this guy right here, my SmackDown co-host partner for the SmackDown Watch Party every Friday night, Friday Night SmackDown. Mitch in the house. Wow, how's it going, guys?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Don't mind my water bottle. It just blends through. Don't mind it at all. And yeah. But anyways, one and done. That's all I gotta say. These guys know what I'm talking about. One and done.
Oh yeah,
Let's go.
we'll get
Oh,
that.
shit.
We'll get on through that throughout the show. But guys, what a crazy Raw. We are still on the European tour. We're still out here, European it up, and Cena is going psycho, says
Mhm.
Cody Rhodes. And I want to mention one thing. I know that he was mentioning the spinner belt, Cena.
Yes.
Personally, that's one of my favorite WWE titles of all time. I don't give a damn what anybody says. When I was a kid, I was raving about that title, and it looked awesome. And I don't care if it looked like some toy. It was something cool and hip for the 2000s that ran with Cena's gimmick. Should have they made a new one when he wasn't a champion for like 2 years? Sure, but like it's a great design, and you can literally just stop the spin. So either way, it's all good. But yeah, I love the spinner belt. I actually created a custom spinner belt out of paper when I was 10 years old. So if you can imagine how that title feels to me. But he mentioned the spinner belt, and I never thought he would ever mention that title again. So I'm glad he did. And what are you guys thinking about for this Cody Cena rivalry?
I'm gonna answer it first. Nick knows what I'm gonna say because he was on the Raw watch along with me because Joe is out. It was celebrating his mother's birthday, so he was out doing his thing. So thank you to Nick for joining me again. Really appreciate it. So I want them to go back and forth. I'm getting tired when Cena talks all that shit, and then Cody comes down, says his shit, and then Cena just walks away. Like, I get it. We have a month left. I get it. We still have
Yeah.
time. It could happen next week, face to face. It could happen next week. But I'm just like,
I know.
I want to see Cena cook Cody on the mic. That's what I want to see.
We'll probably will eventually get it, but
Yeah.
I would say I think what they're doing, and this is the Triple H approach, he doesn't like to blow all of his load in one shot, which I appreciate. Because if you blow your whole load in one shot, the other weeks to digest, there's nothing to digest. So, like, do you want to just blow your whole load off now or have it spread out like piece by piece going into the WrestleMania build? I think that's the smarter approach right there. And also, I think we're having a SmackDown when they get back from the European tour. I think there's a SmackDown show in Chicago 2 weeks before WrestleMania. I would hope Cody Rhodes is there, but maybe not John Cena. If not Cena, then The Rock. Because we haven't seen him since the Chamber, because it's kind of difficult to build Cena and Cody with The Rock when Rock has his movies and when Cena has his movies going on too. And Cody Rhodes is pretty much carrying the majority of the load of this match build going into WrestleMania. So I would say I think it's smart what Paul Levesque's doing by having this spread out instead of like doing this piece by piece. I think we'll get Cena cooking Cody on the mic eventually, just not right now. Also, you got to be careful because if you're going to have Cena cook Cody, you don't want it to the point where it makes Cody look weak because you got to make Cena look good and you got to make him look strong. And the same thing with Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania. Like, look at Cody Rhodes in the build to WrestleMania last year. Cody got bitched out big time last year with
He
The
did.
Rock. I don't think you want that again this year. So
For me, it's just like we're all used to seeing John Cena talking back, talking his shit, not dropping the mic. He's always about that guy. Like, you got to get through me. My time is now, and all that stuff. Just not used to this
Absolutely.
right now. I love it, but I'm just not used to it. Pyro, I want to hear from you, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mitch. I was thinking of that like at work. I had a earphone in, so people were hearing me react and was like, Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but yeah, like no one understood what I was reacting to, but yeah, Cena on the mic will give you, um, he will give you the greatest thing in the world, and that's me saying that as a Punk guy. Um, but even when I'm thinking like while I was watching that, I was thinking the same thing, and it brought me back to Roman versus Cena. It brought me back to when Punk and Cena were having it out. He was having great ones against Triple H, having great ones. Um, he was great on the mic versus Umaga. He made everything work out in his favor when it came to being on the mic, and when he was rapping too. He was taking out dudes like Undertaker on the mic. And at that time in '03, you weren't doing that. And so Cena knows what he's doing. And I think Cody knows what he's doing. Everybody knows what they're doing in their role. I think this is a fantastic um it's such a fantastic rivalry, and I like that they haven't really brawled yet. I'm pretty happy with how the build has been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are not letting
Ridiculous
Cena
stuff.
roast Cody, because if they did, Cena would destroy him. Yeah, that's true. That's
That is
true.
true, Vic.
Cody's
Mhm.
been destroying him on the mic, but Cena hasn't really said anything about Cody. He's been talking about the title, but that might even be Cena's way of making Rhodes look small, which he's done that with many people in the past. Daniel Bryan, for
Yeah.
example, he was pointing at the
Yes.
title, not the opponent, and he was trying to make Daniel Bryan look small. Of course, Daniel Bryan held his game, but this could be in the story where he's making Cody look small and making the title look massive.
Yeah. Just look at what John Cena did with this program 2 years ago in this WrestleMania 39 build with Austin Theory for the United States title. Like he buried Austin Theory on the microphone on Raw 2 years ago before their Mania 39 match. Like when Cena's usually like when he buries someone on the mic, he's like, fine speech. But he absolutely obliterated Austin Theory on the mic 2 years ago. So yeah, it's like I said, you got to be careful with Cena roasting Cody on the mic, because if you're not careful with that, it could really hurt Cody Rhodes' momentum as champion going into WrestleMania, because he's going to hold the title for over a year now, and he's been booked pretty strong lately. And do you really want to just kill all that off, like
Right.
going into WrestleMania, and Cody looks weak going into Mania? That's not really a good look.
So you brought up Austin Theory, right? What about Solo Sikoa? Remember that? When he
Yes,
cooked
that
him in
too.
90 seconds with no throat?
Yes,
Like
half
with no
a
voice whatsoever.
Yeah,
And then
on
Cena
SmackDown.
loses. He gets squashed by Solo, which is not going to happen. Cena's not going to get squashed by Cody at all. Cena's going to win, in my opinion. But
He
I'm
should,
just saying,
honestly.
it's a give or take. It's like it's like a hit or miss. Yeah.
And I see people online, and I'm sure there'll be people online. Oh, Cena winning would bury Cody Rhodes. What good would that do, Cody? You're just burying the future. Blah blah blah. A loss to Cena is not going to hurt Cody Rhodes. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, Cody Rhodes is bulletproof. Where he can take a loss to Cena at Mania, and Cody Rhodes will be just fine. He'd still have that aura and shit like and yada yada yada, like he would be before the match with Cena at Mania. He'll be just fine. Where I feel like if you turn Cena heel, you're not gonna have him go heel and have him lose. That just makes no sense at all. In fact, I think it would do more harm for Cena if he turned heel and lose. And I think him winning is the right move here. Him losing to Cody at Mania is bad booking.
It makes no sense. Why would you turn him heel or turn him human being? Excuse me. He's not a heel. He's not a babyface. He's a human being. Let's
There
get
you
that
go.
out of the
He's been
way.
under
With
abuse.
feelings. With feelings.
And he's been under
Yeah,
abuse for 20 years.
Yep.
Apparently. Yeah.
And now he's
it's
going to
just-
ruin wrestling for all the people who booed him for 20 years by winning the title from Cody at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
That was
It's
a good line
CM
early in
Punk.
that promo, too.
It's CM Punk at Money in the Bank. That's basically what it is.
Or, if not Money in the Bank, at SummerSlam. Either or.
We have to have it at Money in
What
the
I was
Bank.
talking about back in 2011, when CM Punk beat Cena, he walked out with the title because his contract expired.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was talking about. and then he comes back. What was it? The next Monday Night Raw? Or was that 2 weeks later? He comes back, holds the title, and you have Cena holding the title.
But if you do Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank, what do you do with Cena for the title at SummerSlam?
No, I'm just saying that was back then.
I know.
That was back then.
Yeah, that was
That
great
was back
then in Chicago.
Yeah.
Though they're having Money in the Bank this summer, I'm hearing at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, the home of the first Raw on Netflix. So
yeah, that's kind of big.
I just wonder if they do that match for Money in the Bank, do you have Cena go over? Do you have Punk go over? What do you do with Cena for the title at SummerSlam? Because I feel like Cena's holding that championship until SummerSlam.
I got Punk winning. And then that's when Cena's gonna start realizing what has he done. He's gonna try to get the forgiveness back from the fans and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would say go ahead, Phyro.
Oh, sorry. I think it definitely needs to be, if they're going to do Cena versus Punk, which would be so good for ticket prices.
Yes.
If you're doing that, it has to be, I don't want it at SummerSlam. It has to be at Money in the Bank for the trilogy. It has to be at Money in the Bank. And and I agree. Like, I think Cena's definitely going to end his reign, forgiving the fans and being a good guy again. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun thing to watch, seeing Cena, the transition they're going to do. Are they really going to give him the title at WrestleMania? That is one of the things. Or are they even, I've thought of the idea, if maybe they do have Cena losing, make Cody Rhodes a hero again, a WrestleMania hero, even if Cody Rhodes becomes Mr. WrestleMania, right? If that happens, then I think they definitely should have Cody drop the title next pay-per-view, and then Money in the Bank. We'd have Punk versus Cena, and then SummerSlam could be anybody. It could be Rollins, though, because Rollins and Cena have that SummerSlam trilogy together.
It could be Orton, too.
Orton would be good.
I think Orton will be saved down further in the line.
Yeah, maybe Orton
think that's when Orton's going to...
Orton might even be the guy to get Cena back with the fans. He might finally get in his head and be like, "What the hell are you doing, dude? Like, this is your last year. Why are you breaking up with the fans already, man? Like, we've been through so much."
I've been broken up for a week now.
I know. 20-year relationship, 1 week.
Or what about this, guys? If you do Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank, Punk just wins the title there. But hear me out. Punk defends the title at SummerSlam against the King of the Ring winner, Braun Breaker. And as far as Cody Rhodes, maybe Cody versus The Rock. And then Cena versus Orton, like you said, Pyro. Orton gets Cena to wake up. And that's Orton beating Cena at SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium. Cena starts to wake up and goes face. And then that gets The Rock to turn on Cena. We eventually get Orton turning on Cody. They feud throughout late 2025, throughout the rest of 2025, from late 2025 till the end of the year, throughout the rest of this year, and then have Rock be Cena's final opponent at the end of this year.
Hold on, Backlash. When did they advertise Cena and Orton?
I think you could do that and have Cena win by cheating and setting up a rematch later on between Cena and Orton at SummerSlam.
When is Backlash?
May 17th in St. Louis.
So it's a month at. Okay,
yes.
It's gonna be Cena and Orton at a Backlash.
That would be great.
Absolutely see that.
It's going to be, because that's from Randy Orton. That's where he's from.
I might have to.
You give him that pop.
I might have to make a trip to that, because like Kansas City.
Yeah, you're close.
Ain't that far.
You're close, dude. You're honestly there. Like, how far is it? Like what?
5 hours, I think.
I thought it was closer.
No, it's like no. Kansas City. I know my hands are backwards right now, but like
it's good.
Kansas City's like right over here. Like if I'm doing a map this way, but that still doesn't help it. But like Kansas City's right here where Kansas is, and St. Louis is like right here, right at the end of Missouri where Illinois is at. So if you're in St. Louis, you're like right next to the Illinois border, whereas if you're in Kansas City, Missouri, you're right there where the Kansas border is at. So like it's a long way. It might even be like a 6-hour drive, because I know in the middle of Missouri, if you just drive to there, like Lake of the Ozarks or Jefferson City, you have at least a 3-hour drive on your hands.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty hectic drive. But I mean, for Randy and Cena, is it worth it? That's the thing for me. Is that worth it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So next, what's after that? What was after that?
We had the Usos versus A-Town Down Under.
Hmm.
I'm actually glad it was Jimmy Uso instead of Joe Hendry. It made more sense for it to be Jimmy.
It makes more sense, but damn, I wanted Joe Hendry. I
I
wanted
know.
that pop. Damn it!
We said his name and he didn't appear. False
Well,
Right.
advertising.
He's actually in the video game. He's in the video game G.I. Joe.
Nice.
Joe Hendry's in the game. You can actually see him turn. Oh god, that's great. But great match. Jey Uso. I did see the box.
yeah,
Nick, I did see it.
yeah.
I think that's part
It
of the
was
storyline. I don't think
Gunther
that was
Triple
actually
H
on
did it for a
purpose.
reason, man. Like I said in the
I don't-
stream earlier.
Yeah, I think that was just for a purpose, like what you said. Yeah. Pyro, what you think of this match?
For the
A-Town
Usos, I
Down
thought,
Under is done.
oh, they
Thirdly,
definitely, they're very stale. And the problem is, I don't think Austin Theory or Waller has done anything to reinvent themselves, which is a big problem because Austin Theory has been the exact same guy since Vince. And we've gotten really tired of that same Austin Theory even during the Vince era. The only difference is he doesn't have a phone in his hand. It's stupid, but like
Yeah.
he's trying. He was basically like the next Tyler Breeze if Tyler Breeze had the build of John Cena, and that is just awful. But I mean, I personally don't watch them anymore. That's the problem. It's like nobody's watching these guys anymore. This is where you have to reinvent your gimmick, or you have to do something that is so interesting people cannot deny you. The Usos being involved, no one cares about A-Town Under. Everybody cares about the fact that Jimmy and Jay are finally back together. I have that same Finish the Story shirt, by the way. But everybody just cares about the fact that they hit a 1D and they are back together for one tag match, and it's like a reunion. But nobody's talking about Under. When I was watching the match, I wasn't thinking about A-Town Down. I was thinking about, oh God, we're getting the Usos again. Fuck yeah, So I think that's and this is also the creative team member talking in my brain. It's like, if no one is caring about your gimmick to where you can't even get a single pop, it is time to reinvent your story, or it is time to at least do something that will flash you back.
Do you think they split up A-Town Down Under?
Not
No.
yet, but that's only because I feel like at this point WWE is starting to be thin on heel tag teams, especially on the
With the New
SmackDown
Day.
roster. The
Look
New
at the New
Day
Day right now.
is
They're not doing anything.
right.
No.
And then
Like,
when
who
you're
they
looking
got,
at a
Pretty
tag
Deadly?
team, huh?
Who they got like Pretty Deadly pushed on SmackDown? Like, what the hell is that?
See, but they're not doing anything at all either. They're just catering
No.
to Nia Jax. The problem is, if you're not having anything going on for your heel tag teams and you're just pushing all these guys aside, like a Kofi Kingston, he was once the greatest thing we've ever seen, especially in the mid card. He was holding down the mid card in 2013, 2012, and now he's just not doing anything. I don't see how that can make your tag team division interesting, especially on Raw or on SmackDown for that case, because
Yeah.
as soon as you lose your credibility, as soon as you lose everything for your tag division, the entire, especially with the Raw or the women's tag titles, as soon as you just quit giving a damn about those scenarios, you have lost everybody on every tag team. I haven't heard anything about the Motor Machine Guns in so long. Not because of the fact that I haven't seen them on TV, but it's just because I don't even talk about them. Because what is there to talk about if there's no real heel tag team to go against them? We just had, what are they called? The Street Profits. We just had them turn heel at Royal Rumble. Where the hell have they been? What are they doing? Anything interesting? No.
And you look at them now; they're tag team champions, and they're actually the ones with the most momentum right now on SmackDown.
Exactly,
They
and
didn't
yet
even break
nobody
them
is
up;
talking
just
about
a
them.
slight edgier thing added to them, and look where they are at now. I feel like with the Motor City Machine Guns, I feel like the "Hi, I'm happy to be here" character doesn't really go anywheres at all. I feel like they need to really kill off that gimmick of the Motor City Machine Guns and maybe have them go a little rogue, maybe a heel turn, maybe have them find that edge again. I think that would be the best thing for them. Same thing with a lot of other people on the main roster. Lyra Valkyria is another one. The goody two shoes, happy to go lucky, smiley all the time character that doesn't work. I feel like a edgier character would go a long way. Just like with the Motor City Machine Guns. Because like they have no character. Nothing. They need something.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and
Even the New
that's
Day has fallen off a cliff, and I hate to say that because they had a really good
oh
segment
man.
where they turned on Big E December last year. They've done nothing with them since then. They've just
I
fallen
got it.
off a
I know
cliff.
what they're gonna do with it. They're gonna have New Day take on the Viking War Raiders for the tag titles,
Yeah.
and then you have the New Day win, and then you have Big E come out, or you have Big E cost them the match by not even entering into the ring. You could do that as well.
I don't know if Big E ever gets cleared though, to be honest, though.
No. He'll just be on the stage with the microphone. He won't be anywhere near the ring. He'll just be there with the microphone in his hand.
Yeah.
And it costs them the match. I think that's what's going to happen if they go down to the tag team title route.
Yeah, but if you
They got to do something.
if you do that though, you need a story with New Day and War Raiders. Though, unless Big E comes down the ramp and costs New Day the match, like you said at WrestleMania, Mitch. But you can't and that's the thing. You can't just throw matches out there and expect the fans to care. You need a story. That's what I feel like the problem was a lot with AEW. Like they just throw matches and no one seems to care. Like there's no story of why they're fighting. You know?
Right.
So I mean, if you're gonna do New Day and War Raiders and you have what 3-4 weeks left till a WrestleMania build as well, that's another thing.
Well, there's been like so many stories that still need building in a short amount of time.
Well, we have 4 weeks or 3 weeks till WrestleMania. There's plenty of time, and plus the fact WrestleMania is pushed till like to what 3rd, 4th week of April, towards the end of April, and this was like a
It's
Nick
gonna feel
Khan
so
move.
weird.
It was a Nick
Pyro,
Khan move.
hold on, Pyro. When is the NFL draft? Is it the same week as WrestleMania, or is it the
Ooh.
weekend after?
I will have to look that up real
Because
quick.
if it's the same weekend, I'm like, oh,
I have a messed up situation where my brother wants to come to town, and no one's telling me it's my brother, but I know it's my brother. It's the 24th, by the way, and
so it's the week after. Got it.
so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch WrestleMania live, which sucks because I told my family I'm not missing this WrestleMania. I am watching it freaking live. But
Right.
you know, families shit sometimes, so it's okay.
And there, done. Yep, got that. So, yeah, what's next up?
So after the Usos win, and also real quick about the Usos, I wanted to say, Pyro, I looked at the Usos. I can't be the only one who feels like you look at them together. I mean, I know Jay's doing his thing as a singles guy. Same thing with Jimmy. It's hard to sit there and not think, oh, these guys are better at the tag team than they are separate, and they are better in the tag team than they are separate. At some point, you got to get them back together in the tag team division, and they could use tag teams, especially on the Raw side.
You can. But this is where I think they're going for Mania. You have JB Gunther, and then you have Jimmy become the U.S. champion.
Yeah.
That's where, and then you have them hold the titles for a while.
And I will say, though, before we get to Jimmy, Jay, and Gunther, because finally where they're going with that, finally something, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But the next segment, we had the backstage with Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio, where Chad Gable said he was sick. He was going to wrestle Dragon Lee, but El Grande Americano took Chad Gable's place. So Adam Pearce made that official. Might I say, I love Chad Gable, man. I love Chad Gable. He's great.
I do too.
We then have the next segment, Women's Intercontinental Championship match.
Ooh, yes.
Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel Rodriguez with Liv Morgan. Might I say, I expected going into this match, like, not really. It's like, yeah, okay, I don't really care. But watching this was not bad. This was probably Raquel's best match since she's come back. This was good.
She is definitely getting there, and I see a lot of growth. Even in that the tag titles match, her ability to just kind of be like and I hate saying this because this is kind of fucked up, but like she's looking almost like a Tamina.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she's doing it very well, and no one can really pull that kind of thing off. So I think in that sense, like, she is doing very well with her new character, but she is also doing her own thing with it. She's being very destructive, and I love that, 'cause we need somebody like that in the women's division on Raw, at least on Raw. I know Nia's doing her thing, but like, we need someone who can actually develop that skill where you can be, you know, you can just take our breath away just from shoving somebody into an announce table. That's awesome. And I think she keeps just climbing that ladder every time. There's growth every time.
Yes.
I love Phyro. I love our Intercontinental Champion. She is Valkyria. She is very, very talented, and I love watching her wrestle all the time. It's very good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will say Lyra's reign as women's IC champion could be booked a lot better. Like I said, with the Motor City Machine Guns, though. Lyra Valkyria with this goody two-shoe, smiling all the time baby face, that's gotta go. I would wish for Lyra to have more of an edgier rogue side, maybe like a heel or tweener, be like more of an attitude. Something like that. Like, she was Aoife Valkyrie in the NXT UK days. She was like this quiet, silent type, this intense type. She was actually very cool in NXT UK. And then when she came to NXT in the States, I feel like what made her special in NXT UK all got stripped away, and they kind of pussified her. And I feel like with her on the main roster on Raw right now, I feel like she needs to find that edge again.
Yeah.
I agree, but really quick, happy birthday to The Undertaker.
Yes, 60th birthday to Dead Man.
I just found out. Someone posted it in my Discord.
I had no idea.
Yes.
60, Jesus Christ.
Doesn't even look 60.
Christ. No, he doesn't.
Doesn't at all.
Jeez, and look, I don't care what anyone says about him. I mean, he's respected by everybody, and one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. There will never, ever be another Undertaker at all.
And that's how I feel about Kane too, because like, the way these guys turn these gimmicks, and this is what made WWE so special back then. Like, basically, you have these gimmicks, you roll the gimmick, and then you turn it into something that is you, and also you turn it into something that will work for the character long term. Kane, for example, when he was doing his face expressions, when he was doing his with that mask, he was doing expressions, he was doing all those emotional views without using any words. He had to learn that himself, and that even made the character more interesting. It's very little things. The slow walk for Undertaker, the graspy voice when he talks and makes his short but sweet interviews. The fact that he can magically get in the ring in seconds and out. It's little things like that that turn his career around from being, I'm just Mark Calloway, into I'm the Undertaker, motherfucker, and you're gonna die. That's what I want to see nowadays too. I want to see someone take a character by the balls and just make it their own thing while turning it into a long-term main event stardom. Like Cody. Cody's done that himself. American Nightmare. He's reinvented himself. We see that with Rhea Ripley. We see that with Braun Breaker's doing that shit right now, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen. It's so cool. Undertaker, he's so talented with storytelling and with knowing what the audience wants and knowing what they crave every time.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's just like Undertaker. It's like just like with Triple H. Undertaker just has his finger on the pulse of what the fans want.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just get it.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
literally
that's
get it.
and a part of that is just years of experience. A part of that is also when you hear a pop. When you hear
Yeah.
that kind of pop and you want people to if you want people to cheer, you keep that pop rolling. If you want people to boo, you keep doing uh, what the hell you did to make them boo you again, unless it gets stale. If you feel stale, definitely change it up. Do something to flip them. Do that. It's like a puzzle piece, jigsaw, man. You got to rearrange and be like, oh, what the hell did this guy do? That's new. Hey, screw that guy. Or, oh, that's new. I like this stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but going back to Lyra Valkyria and Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra did win and retain when she countered a Tahana bomb into the it's like a roll up, like a inside cradle, and won. And then you had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez attack Lyra after the match, and Bailey comes down to for the save. Either one or two things: Bailey versus Lyra for the women's IC title at WrestleMania, or we get Liv and Raquel defending the women's tag titles against Bailey and Lyra at WrestleMania. I'm not for the second option. Probably Lyra and Bailey for the title is probably the way to go. Though I wonder what happened to that Bailey Roxanne Perez thing, or do they save that for after WrestleMania?
I think that's going to be a stand and deliver. But again, they already have 2 championship title matches there for the women, like
yeah.
Nick said earlier.
Yeah, the women's North American title and then the women NXT women's title.
They should wait. I think it needs to wait. We already have so much going on with all the 3 brands that like everything just needs to do what it's doing right now. Everything's working. I think it's just a matter of time where, WrestleMania hits, then pull the trigger on changing things up, story-wise, roster-wise. Just keep everything how it is right now and
Yeah.
move on from it later. Move on
Well,
with it later.
Plus, also the other thing to consider, guys, do you really want to overstack the WrestleMania card because, like, just for the sake of it, and like, and also, it's like, I know there's like the men and women's matches. Do you really want like you have too much women's matches on WrestleMania? Isn't that kind of overkill? You got Tiffany and Charlotte, Io, Rhea, Bianca. You got Jade and Naomi. And then
I think it makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna
I don't know.
have
That's just how
I got
feel.
it. I got it. When is the pay-per-view or PLE Evolution? When is the next one?
I heard in like early July in Stanford and Connecticut.
That's when you do it. Roxanne Bailey. There. Boom. Mic drop. I don't have a mic.
That also.
I got a remote.
Probably have that be a rivalry going into that show, and maybe have a blow-off match.
It's gotta be Evolution.
Stipulation.
It's either Evolution or Backlash.
I would say Evolution. I think that's the way to go about it. I like Mitch's idea.
You gotta go that route. I mean, Backlash is gonna be overlooked because it's Cena and Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
There you go.
Plus, you got Tiffany and Charlotte WrestleMania. Then
I think we'll get that too.
Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Then Jade and Naomi. Do you really want? I don't know if they'll probably Roxanne and Bailey at Mania won't be overlooked, but then it's like you got to think about women's IC title, women's US title. Do you really want too much women's matches on WrestleMania? Is that overkill? And do you want to really overstack the card on top of all that? Do you want to overstack the card for WrestleMania just for the sake of overstacking it? Like Triple H's mindset when he ran NXT Black and Gold with NXT Takeovers was quality over quantity. He gave you 5-6 matches. He didn't overstack the card.
Do we have now? How many matches do we have now at Mania?
I think we have 6.
We have 6?
I think. I could be wrong.
I'll look it up. I got it.
That's what Triple H did for TakeOver, man. He just put the matches on the show that belonged on the show, and the matches that didn't make the card would be on NXT to make those shows meaningful.
Let's see here. I'm on Bleacher Report right now.
So that was what Triple H's mindset is on NXT. That was what his mindset was from NXT Senior Cena on the main roster.
Yep. I'm gonna share my screen right now. God, I hate how they do this now on StreamYard. Alright, so first one, Cena and Cody. That's 1. Bianca Belair. Yep. So that's 2. We'll call that 3. Yep. So that's 3 matches right there.
4.
So we already got 3. Hold on. This is not the match card.
You got. I think I seen you go up.
Yeah. Updating match card. Here we go.
Go
I'm
down.
gonna scroll down. Here
There
we
you
go.
Or they announced
We got 5.
Owens and 6. Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton.
They didn't update that one yet.
No.
Okay.
So it's 6
So we got
matches.
6. We
Yeah.
got 6. So that means we still got like 5 more matches to be announced.
Or at least 6.
6 more. Oh my God. We're gonna
I
have
would-
12.
I actually, you know what? I think they announced 8 more matches. They have 7 matches each night. That's what they did
14
last year.
matches.
Overall, they have 6 announced. I did they announced
What
8
was
more
last
matches
year?
total.
How many did we
7
have last
matches.
year?
7 matches each night.
And then we had the pre-show.
But there were no matches on the
So-
pre-show.
We're not getting a match on the pre-show this year.
No, we didn't get it last year.
I thought we did.
No,
Huh?
we didn't get it last year.
I don't know. Why am I up here? All right. So yeah, we're gonna have like that many matches. Yippee.
I would say 7 matches both nights, just like last year. I think that's perfect. Or if you want to do 8, that's okay for each night.
Yeah. All right. What's the next up?
We had Jimmy Uso and Jay Uso backstage. Jimmy hyping up Jay. Jay's like, I can't do this after the match. I can't do this. And like Jimmy's like, you're main event Jay Uso. You got this. And then Jimmy saw Gunther backstage behind a wall because earlier in the night, after the Usos beat A-Town Down Under, that Gunther was trying to beat down Jay, but then Jimmy made the save using the steel chair. Then Jimmy Uso challenged Gunther to a one-on-one non-title match on Raw in London next week, which we're getting that next week. So Jay's doubting himself off the botch, and he's like, no, don't be doing something like that. You're main event Jay Uso. You got this. You can beat Gunther.
Yep.
And like the botch from earlier in the tag match or the opening of during the beginning of the show, Mitch, Triple H did that for a reason. And before this, Jay Uso and Gunther, it was missing something. I'll be honest with you. It was really missing something. It was just beat down from Gunther, same old shit every week. But now you bring up the botch and Jey Uso doubting himself. Now we're getting somewhere finally. And now let's bring it to the next level. Have Gunther absolutely demolish Jimmy Uso next week. Just absolutely destroy Jimmy next week. Get Rikishi involved. Have Gunther beat the shit out of Rikishi. Take it to the next level.
I don't think they'll do that, but I wouldn't mind that. I would love that. I don't think they'll go that route.
Something along those lines.
Pyro, what are you thinking?
I don't see it either, Mitch. I just separate
I don't
ways,
know.
man. Separate ways. I think it's too late. I think it's too late for something like that. Like if you're gonna,
I don't know.
it's a good idea. I see the idea, but like, it's too redundant. I feel like it's just too redundant. It's too predictable.
They just got to make it more personal with the 3-4 weeks left of the build, with Gunther making it personal. Jey Uso going into WrestleMania. They got to do something.
You can't. I don't know. It's just you can't, because I feel like we did that last year. We did that in 2020. We did that in 22, 23. It's.
I know, but I mean, Gunther and Jay has nothing going for it before tonight. Earlier.
Yeah, I know. It's been pretty stale, honestly. It's like it's another hero versus villain. It's another David versus Goliath. I don't know. I don't see Jey Uso as a world champion though, because or at least not in the WrestleMania way, because yeah, he's great with the fans and his merch is selling like crazy, but what can he deliver in the ring? He steals moves not steals, but like he spears,
Well, everyone does.
kick.
Everyone does every move. So
No, I know, and that's fine, but like, do your own thing. Don't take it from your family. Like he's got obviously the Samoan drop is everybody's for Samoans. He's got his dad's move where he takes his ass to the turnbuckle into the guy's face, but he did it his own way, and I love that. Him and Jimmy did it in their own way. But then you have the super kick. All right, use it 1,000 freaking times, but whatever.
Body
Frog
slap.
splash, that's his own thing. I like that. Everyone uses, or not everyone, but like anybody can use a frog splash. He took advantage of that. That's
The
perfect.
spike.
The spear though is what really pisses me off, because it's like, okay, you pin Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden you think you can just use a spear, and then he uses it like 3 times in a match. It's like, dude, that is supposed to be a finisher, not a fucking not like some kind of arm drag. Like, treat your moves like a finisher. Protect your finishes.
I
Protect
remember
your
back in
moves.
the day, the DDT was the most devastating finisher. Now it's just like an arm drag.
Yeah,
Same thing with
Sandman,
just like the super
Jake
kick.
the Snake. All those
Yeah.
guys used it, man. And it used to be, it's either your head's on the floor and you're fucked, or maybe you can get out of it. But not a lot of people, like nowadays. It's just like and I kind of blame the ruthless aggression for this one, because then The Rock would use it. Yeah, Triple H would use it. I think, Kane and Undertaker ended up using it as a flying DDT, which I thought was really cool. They did that later on, but not everybody used the DDT until the Ruthless Aggression, and then it just started becoming a generic move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why are we not protecting these finishes? That's what drives me crazy about this.
Yeah. But I will say, though, with Gunther versus Jimmy Uso next week, they got to have Gunther next week go in there and just destroy Jimmy. Maybe just have him, like, take out his leg or something, put him on the shelf for a little bit. Not, like, injured, but, like, for a little bit. But do something with this Gunther Jey Uso stuff. So, that's just me on that. But we go to the next segment. Adam Pearce, he addresses the controversy with the women's world title match regarding that match for WrestleMania. And next week, Raw in London, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley in a rematch for the women's world championship. Bianca Belair is the special guest referee. And I said this to Mitch earlier, and he said the same thing. We are getting Rhea versus Bianca versus Io at WrestleMania for the women's world title. That is happening.
Yep.
I feel like Bianca's going to screw Rhea. That's going to cause Rhea to get put in the match at WrestleMania. And Bianca's acting a little heelish as of late, might I say. So I wouldn't be shocked if Bianca fully goes heel after WrestleMania and feud with Rhea after WrestleMania. Because Rhea and Bianca go and button heads during this whole build with these 3 ladies, and Io's like third wheel in this thing. And I feel like Io, they're forgetting all about Io, Rhea, and Bianca, and I feel like Io should retain at WrestleMania. Should be very good, and I'm liking what they're doing with these 3 ladies as far as build goes. I think it's been very good. I'm going to even say it. The Io, Rhea, and Bianca build is better than the Charlotte and Tiffany feud.
Yes.
Fact.
Yes.
Fact. Don't at me.
I completely agree, and there is no debate. Unless Mitch has something, there is no debate on that.
Anyone who says Charlotte and Tiffany's the better build is lying to themselves.
What have they done? They've done nothing. Okay, maybe they've done like one crazy
Tiffany
match
on Friday.
Not match, but yeah, they did an attack. Great. There's more to wrestling than just attacking people at the entranceway. You have to actually show up, Charlotte, and then you also have to be psychological in your ways. Rhea Ripley is using long-term storytelling right now, where she is now, she's feeling like she's being attacked by everybody, ever since Liv, ever since the Judgment Day, ever since Damian went to SmackDown, ever since Io came to the page. She is turning that gimmick and making it a long-term story. And what's Charlotte's long-term story? What's her reason to go after the world title? I'm a Flair. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? You're a Flair. That means you need to go away.
Dude, storytelling does not exist in Charlotte Flair's dictionary. I don't think Charlotte really genuinely gives a shit. I really feel like she's just there for the money. She doesn't want to be there. She's just there for herself and is very selfish and very, very, very greedy. She don't care. She doesn't care. Like, I feel like anything Charlotte touches, she ruins and kills. She's just a momentum killer. Like, she makes no one around her look good. She only makes herself look good. She's always been that way since day one. And I don't trust Charlotte with anything. I don't trust her to put Tiffany over at WrestleMania.
Mm-mm.
And she just
No.
the politics she does, she's not to be trusted. And genuinely no one wants to see her. I know she's better as a heel and a face, but people genuinely don't want to see her. They don't.
I don't know if that will work this time. Vince is no longer there. I don't think Triple H is allowing anybody to put their power. I think Triple H can see through
Triple
it.
H and Ric Flair are good friends, but then again, I probably think it's mostly Charlotte. I don't trust her. I don't trust the woman.
I don't either. I agree with that, especially since she wouldn't even put over
She's been known to go into business for herself.
Yep, with Sasha, she did that shit with Bailey. She did that shit with Dana Brooke. She fucking killed Dana Brooke's push.
She did it with Becky Lynch at SummerSlam in 2018.
Becky Lynch, yep. Which I mean that they tried the heel bullshit that night, and it just didn't fucking work at all.
I was there for that show live when Becky slapped the face out of Charlotte. Yeah, when Charlotte was wearing the pink attire and Becky slapped the face at her, they tried to turn Becky heel, and it blew up right in their face. So, yeah, I was there live in Brooklyn for that show.
I remember watching that live, and that was one of the only that was like one of 3 pay-per-views I was able to watch that entire year live, and the pop she got for attacking Charlotte, because universally she was hated even though she was a face. And what was that pop really like in real life? I loved hearing it.
Was crazy. They're live. Crazy. Everyone went nuts. Everyone, almost everybody in that Barclays Center went insane, bro. They did. And Vince tried to force Charlotte as a face. She was booed. Tried to force Becky as a heel, was cheered. And it blew up right in their faces. They tried it like last ditch evolution, and it blew up right in their fucking faces big time, to the point where they had to turn Becky face and Charlotte heel. They had no choice. So I don't trust Charlotte with anything. The Io, Bianca, and Rhea feud is much better than the Charlotte and Tiffany feud, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't. People just genuinely like Io, Rhea, and Bianca. You don't see them go into business for themselves because they actually give a shit about the business. Yes. Charlotte is just there for this and this only, the almighty dollar.
It's about the family. It's about keeping the family legacy alive. Well, guess what? The family legacy is alive because of the WWE. So how about you respect the business and not just the family name? The family name doesn't matter anymore. Is anybody even talking about Ric Flair anymore?
No.
It's like Hulk Hogan. And that's not out of disrespect, but it's like,
that'll work for me, brother.
And that's not out of disrespect. It's just simply like, what's there to fight for? The family name. This is your name now. You need to, instead of just worry about your name, worry about the brand that your name is being featured on. This is, and you leave for so fucking long. Why do you just immediately get a title match? I hated that. I hated that she won the Royal Rumble. She was not deserving, and she hasn't deserved it.
She was gone for a year.
Right. I don't care if you have some kind of good match with Rhea and you put her over because you fucking have to, which that's why I don't think she's going to go over at WrestleMania. I don't think Triple H is going to pull that shit. He didn't pull that with Rhea. I don't think he's going to pull that now. But Tiffany needs to be in a match where she can actually develop this character she's got. I think Tiffany's character, as annoying as it is, it's working. So let it work. Let it work with the fans. I love that it's working for her, and it's herself, so great. And let that work.
And for Charlotte on SmackDown to say, oh, Tiffany's not the hottest thing, you're not as hot as you say you are. Like, Charlotte, like, who the hell are you to say that? Like, she's been gone for a year, and you have the balls to say Tiffany's not the hottest thing and she hasn't been that hot. Like, are you kidding me? That really pissed me off watching it on Friday with the watch along with Mitch. I can't stand Charlotte. I really can't. Seriously. And the thing, and it's like, she's what, 14-time champion? Like, breaking your father's record. Who cares? Who cares? Cena will break the record before you ever do, honey.
Oh, God. She's probably going to have a fucking fit about that now.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna have a fit about that. She's probably gonna be like, "Why does Cena get the 17th title? Now I need 18. Now I need 20. Fucking no.
Oh,
Go
jeez.
away. Nobody wants you anymore. You don't even look like yourself because you want to change your fucking face all the time, which I don't understand why she wants to do
And
that if she's so proud of her name and so proud of herself. Like what's
yeah. And just look at the women's division down at NXT. And I feel like when they get called up to the main roster, I feel like in Mitch, I think I said it to you on Friday SmackDown before that. I can't remember which. That honestly, things have passed Charlotte by.
Mm-hmm.
Things have passed her by. They don't really
Yep.
need Charlotte anymore. Charlotte could leave the WWE tomorrow, and nobody, I swear to God, nobody would miss her. Nobody would miss her. But we have Bianca, Rhea, and Io. This is I'm liking what they're doing. I'm actually looking forward to their match at WrestleMania. Do you think this main event's night one, Pyro, or does Punk, Reigns, and Rollins main event night one?
wow. See, but that's the hard thing because I don't want to see another Rollins versus Reigns main event. I want to see them at WrestleMania, but I don't want to see them main event. But I want Punk to main event. He deserves it so bad. I think you just said Rhea, Io, and Bianca, right? To main event. Okay. To be completely honest with you, I think you might have a better. I think when it comes to all three of those women, they for sure. I mean, Bianca. You guys know my thoughts on Bianca lately, but like, I think they definitely deserve the main event. I don't know if Punk. I mean, Punk deserves a main event of all anything else, but is it really his time? Is it his time right now? Right now,
Yes.
though, I don't know if it's his time for the competitors he's going against. I don't think. Yo, what's up, Wesley? What's going on, man?
Wesley?
But I don't know if Punk right now should main event it. I don't think the story itself. I don't think the. I mean, the story is up there. It's definitely up there. You have a three-way of something that's been going on for over 10 years. But when you really look at stability, when you look at who really needs and deserves the main event right now, and who really is captivating the brands, you got to give it to the women's match. And I think I'm a little biased on this too. I think a women's match, a women's main event, and a men's main event, if we're doing two nights, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I think that
It's,
definitely helps showcase both,
It's not.
gendered roles.
the thing
But
with Punk, right? The thing with Punk, I have him winning. I got him winning the match against Reigns and Rollins. Despite who he pins, I think he pins Rollins. But Punk will beat Rollins. He will get the second win out of the three. Then he beats Roman for the Paul Heyman saga, and then you have the favor. More people are going to be talking about that favor in that main event match than Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. Everyone's more interested in this favor. And I think the favor's going to come in after Mania and for Cena winning the title, and that's how we build the next thing. So this is why, because of the favor. If it wasn't for the favor, then maybe I'll agree with you guys, but the favor and the star power of those three is up there. Rhea and Bianca's are like right there too. Io still got to get there. Her star power still got to get there. So that is why I got the men's.
I can see that. I can see that. But I think this would be perfect for Io, though. I think she definitely can use. It's kind of like with CM Punk back in the day. His philosophy has always been you need to have that main event and work with the star power in order to be a main event caliber, in order to be able to furthermore, give to the brand and give to yourself. Io Sky hasn't had that yet. And she had a pretty good match with.
Didn't she come in last year as a champ?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
There you go.
Against Bayley.
There you go. I'm just saying. This is her second Mania coming in as a champ. Her second one.
Yes.
And Punk, that never happened. So
Right.
I'm telling you, Punk, it doesn't have a title, but this storyline does not need it. I joked with Nick that this should be a Paul Heyman on a pole match because I really think that Seth Rollins could align himself with Paul Heyman if Seth Rollins does win.
Or
but
what?
then you got the favor and all that. So, yeah,
Or
it's still going to be the men's.
Or what if Seth wins the match at Mania, but Heyman screws not only Reigns but Punk as well?
That can definitely happen.
And
Definitely.
Heyman and Seth could align. Seth goes full heel, beats Roman and Punk at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins is a new Paul Heyman guy.
It would not have happened. I mean, it would not have been the first time.
And not many people are
For
talking
Seth.
about it. People are thinking, Raymond's gonna go with Punk and leave Roman, but nobody's talking about Heyman with Seth.
We'll find out on SmackDown.
Yeah, they apparently
for
have
the
a
contract
contract
signing.
signing. Yeah.
Why didn't that match need a cut? Why?
That could have been tonight.
It should have been. But for the contract signing, you already know what's going to happen. One guy's going to go through the table. One guy's going to be out on the rampway. And one guy's going to be pointing at the WrestleMania sign on the turnbuckle.
Points to the sign.
Yeah. The question is, who?
I just hope they didn't do it like last week's SmackDown in Bologna, because that was fucking garbage. That was terrible, dude. I'm sorry.
That SmackDown was bad. That was bad.
8 minutes of entrance, like 5 minutes of entrance. Said, listen, 8 minutes left, and the segment felt so fucking goddamn rushed. It's not even funny. Oh, you eliminated me from the Rumble. Okay, you gotta give me more dialogue. You eliminated me from the Rumble. So what? Like, who cares?
It's like Undertaker and Roman. Like, there was yes, Roman did eliminate Undertaker, but there was more to that. Who's trying to take the yard? That was the story. Was you like they were kind of taking each other's upper hand, and it's like, no, motherfucker, I run this shit. No, I'm running this shit now. This is personal now. That's what made that phenomenal.
Yeah.
Speaking of phenomenal, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for the. Damn! I clicked the wrong button. That would have been nice if I got it on time. But yeah, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Oh, it's not even on this brand. Fuck.
I got the
phenomenal breakdown tomorrow at 6.
You want me to do the video?
No, it's not even on this brand.
I got it.
Welcome to the phenomenal breakdown.
Here, I'll play it right now.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
Welcome to the phenomenal breakdown show. Welcome to the phenomenal breakdown show. Lights in, crowd screams, here he comes flowing. AJ Styles in the ring, never slowing. Phenomenal one, take a name, so it's flowing. Force like a storm, keep the energy blowing. They don't want none, can't handle the heat. Steps up with the forearm, quick and elite. Stop clash, taking them down to the beat. Champion born, made them all face to feet. Welcome to the phenomenal breakdown show, where the punches fly and the blood drops slow. Fight till dawn, make them learn what they know. AJ in the area, power set to go. Welcome to the phenomenal breakdown show.
Yeah.
Yep. Tune in tomorrow. Watch me and Denise follow each other for a whole hour.
But I want to talk about the next thing. El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee. I told Mitch this earlier. El Grande Americano was the best kept secret, and Adam Pearce should definitely sign him to Monday Night Raw. Gracias.
I'm just gonna say this. The whole shocker was God, I forgot his name. What? Who did Chad Gable face tonight on Raw? What was that guy's name? That match you're talking about right here. What's that guy's name? No, it's opponent.
Oh wait. Well, I gotta tell you something. El Grande Americano and Chad Gable are not the same person. I'm just letting you know.
Who are they facing?
No,
I'm serious. Who is the fucking guy?
I know, but
I have no
Now,
idea.
can you tell me who Americano wrestled?
oh wait, Dragon Lee.
Thank you.
Dragon
The biggest shock was Dragon Lee being unmasked.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah, I didn't.
Pops or not, that was the biggest thing.
Ooh, I actually didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder where
yanked it
to go
off.
with this for WrestleMania.
What was that?
I wonder what they're doing with this Chad Gable stuff for WrestleMania as far as that's concerned. But I think this El Grande stuff is very entertaining.
It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
It's cheesy, but you know what? It's funny. It's enough cheesy in a good way. I like it.
Oh God, he showed his face. Like barely a few.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was unmasked.
Oh, dude. I
Yeah,
like see his face. That's a botch. That's for sure.
yeah. I don't think that was supposed to happen at all, but I thought
Well,
this was entertaining for what it was.
I think the mask itself probably was supposed to happen, but I think Dragon Lee for sure was late on getting his face, his face covered up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna
Damn,
say it right
dude.
here. El Grande Americano is better than Hologram. Facts.
Yep.
But anyways, El Grande Americano beats Dragon Lee. Some entertaining stuff here on Raw earlier tonight from Glasgow, Scotland. I thought we would get Ray Phoenix versus Chad Gable at WrestleMania or some way, shape, or form, but looks like Ray Phoenix is going to go to SmackDown. Not with his brother yet, with his brother Penta yet. But we got the next part of the show. I do know the next segment. We got CM Punk in his segment. Though we didn't get Reigns and Rollins in this segment earlier tonight, we did get CM Punk and doing his stuff. And I will say that this blew the ending of Friday Night SmackDown, that ending segment, out of the fucking water. This was so much better. Like, where the hell was this on Friday? CM Punk.
Yep.
Like, this is a really good segment with Punk, and there was one line that actually caught my eye, and I sat there laughing my ass off when I was like watching it back after the live stream earlier today with the Raw watch along, and CM Punk mentioned the line, "The more things change, they stay the same. I work with children." When CM Punk at the AEW All Out 2022 media scrum in Chicago, when he's eating Mindy's muffins and drinking Spindrift, and CM Punk's like, "I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children." When he bashed Hangman Adam Page and Colt Cabana and the Bucks before the brawl out, and here CM Punk is like on Raw television, "I work with children." If that is not a shot at Tony Khan, I do not know what is. That was fun. That was hilarious. And I can already imagine Tony Khan and Ricochet and probably Mercedes Moné and Dax Softwood probably on X getting ready to tweet out and doing a rah-rah speech on Dynamite this Wednesday in 2 days. I can already imagine that. Or have Tony Khan have Cope come out there on Dynamite on Wednesday and have cut a rah-rah speech saying that AEW is where the best wrestle, yada, yada, yada. Like, who cares? You're not where the best wrestle when you have to resort to John Moxley having nails in his back in a match with Cope last week. You have the balls to sit there and say you're AEW's where the best wrestle. Please spare me. Spare me. But you know they're going to do a Raw speech Wednesday. You know that's going to be. I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen. If AEW and Tony Khan were smart, they'd ignore it, but they won't because Tony Khan is a petty child. But thoughts on the segment?
It's what it is. He brought up the Shield.
He did that
He
too.
He brought up the Shield, and he brought up that neither one of them beat Punk without the other's help.
Yep. That's true. That's true. He knows these guys so well, and he knows it. That's what's so cool. It's like you have these two guys, Roman and Seth, who just want to bash each other in the head, and you have Punk who's using the strategy game of like, I know you guys in and out, and I know how to fuck with your head. So fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought it did its job. It was much better than the ending segment of SmackDown this past Friday from Bologna, Italy. But we get advertised for next week's Raw. And Raw next week is going to be at the O2 Arena in London, England. Special live start time next Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern on Netflix for Raw next Monday night, March 31st. We get women's world title match, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley with special guest referee Bianca Belair. Jimmy Uso versus World Heavyweight Champion Gunther in a non-title match. Cody Rhodes and John Cena going face-to-face. And then Logan Paul calls out AJ Styles. They were not, Logan and AJ were not on the show earlier tonight, but they're going to be on the show next week. And this is probably where they set up their match for WrestleMania. And I'm hoping they hit a big home run with that next week because we didn't get them earlier today. But these are the stuff advertised for Raw next week, and next week's Raw is looking like a stacked show. So then we get the main event, men's Intercontinental title on the line. Braun Breaker defending the Intercontinental title against Zero Miedo Penta.
Which I called. I said that Finn Balor and the Judgment Day would come out and interfere, and boom, I was right. And I'm just going to say this. The whole thing with trying to get Penta to join the Judgment Day, and Penta threw the chair and did a super kick. I see a tag team match next week. Penta and Braun Breaker versus Dirty Dom and Finn Balor. And that's where you get Finn turning on Dom or the other way around.
I think it's Dom that turns on Finn. Probably.
It's got to be.
Because if you see how Dominic was telling Penta, use the chair, then Penta refused and threw the chair at Dominic and did the super kick with the chair to Dominic. You see how Balor immediately didn't attack Penta immediately after. He just stood there and just paused. That's another thing to think about.
Yeah.
As well. So I think inevitably Dominic's turning on Balor and kicking him out of the Judgment Day. It's just a matter of when that's going to be. But either we get a fatal four-way for the IC title at WrestleMania with these four men, or we still get Dom and Balor one-on-one and Penta and Braun one-on-one.
Well, you just said we need more matches, so why not split them?
Yeah, again, you don't want to overstack the card, but I would do for the card Dom Balor one-on-one, Penta Breaker one-on-one for the IC title. Then
because I don't want another multi-man.
Yeah, and then for the men.
What is up, Xavier?
What's up, Xavier?
Xavier, what's up, super dude?
What's up, Xavier? And then for the SmackDown mid-card, Solo versus Jacob one-on-one, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso one-on-one for the US title. I think that's the way to go. Instead of a multi-man, you don't want too many multi-man matches for WrestleMania. It's just lazy.
You're going to get a multi-man ladder match for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I think that's where they go with that. We got Io, Rhea, and Bianca, Roman, Seth, and Punk.
No. It's just Io and Bianca right now. There is no Rhea.
Well, not in there yet. She's gonna get added.
No, not yet. You gotta wait.
Like I said, not yet. It's coming. The triple threat's coming. Don't worry.
I know that.
Yeah. It's storytelling at its finest. They're gonna do it's kind of becoming a cliche though, where it's like title match, by the way, interference, by the way, triple threat.
Yeah.
And I thought this match would be like a referee stoppage with Penta not able to continue after getting his ass kicked by Braun Breaker, but Penta won by DQ. So I could probably see the tag match set for next week. So, but I will say though, overall, this Raw show earlier today was a good show. Much better than SmackDown. Looking at Raw compared to SmackDown is like night and day, guys. It's not even funny. I feel like Triple H is more with Raw and Road Dogg is more with SmackDown. And I feel like that's why SmackDown's been bad and Raw's been the much better show compared to the two main roster shows. And that's just how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel about it. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just SmackDown is just bad. It's boring.
It's so bad.
It's bad and boring. It's not good.
It's it's bad when a contract signing for Punk, Rollins, and Reigns has to be on SmackDown. It's getting bad when
it's two Raw guys, not even us on the SmackDown roster. Right. That's another thing. That
two of the biggest
SmackDown
guys
Raw,
on
they
Raw.
have that SmackDown show has it working with a very mid card roster.
It's so bad. Like it's one of them things like you can see the difference with Raw where everybody on the card looks like a main roster guy, and then you see SmackDown as the second show again. It just it doesn't work. And then
No.
I know there's like some SmackDown guys on Raw right now for story. You've got Cody and Reigns, but like, come on, dude, showcase your guys. Give us good matches. Fuck the USA Network. Give us some good shit.
Like, what are we getting? Pretty Deadly, Shinsuke Nakamura? Who cares?
And they can't even put a good story together. Shinsuke Nakamura did this whole reinvention of his character, and it's almost the same thing as a White Six. And I hate to say it, but the White Six are just done. They are. It's one of them one and done things. They need to either redo the whole fucking thing, or it's just going to be the same thing, and it's going to be really bad. It's not entertaining how they have been. I know why Bo Dallas is injured. I know I know why they're not on TV, but it just
But I
went
mean, it's
stale
one
so
member
quick.
injured. The rest are not injured. Like what
I
are we
know,
doing?
and that's the problem. And
Like,
like,
just because one's injured, the rest have to be out? Come on.
right, exactly. And like, even if they put him on NXT, like Joe, fucking goddamn, I forgot his name.
Joe Gacy.
Thank you. Joe Gacy came from NXT. Why don't you put him back there, have him work with some stars, and have the White Six there to be like, yo, what the fuck, I'm here. Like, they need to at least be there, do something. They completely. What I hate is they took some stories and completely just washed them away, like the Chad Gable story. Completely washed it away because of one injury. When there's 5 guys on the entire team, where the hell is Nikki Cross? Where's she at? She has nothing. Like, she has nothing to do with the guys right now. Let her and Alexa do their thing, because we all know we're wanting that match. I want that match. We all know what's going on with it. Or even if they become a fucking tag team and go after Liv and Raquel, that would be badass. So badass. Especially since the tag division of the women's side, face wise, is so thin to where you have to put random people in tag teams now, like we just saw with Valkyria. And well, I forgot who she had in her corner with her, but like, it's gotten to the point where you have all these stories, and that's why I have a hard time with SummerSlam being 2 nights, with WrestleMania still being 2 nights, and having so many fucking matches. Like, simplify your damn roster, man. Simplify your stories. Create a story and stick with it. Don't give us like 2 months of hype of video packages, and then just to wash it away and make it stale. That's why I kind of resent with the Paul Levesque story right now. It's like we had Carry On Cross's team, the Final Testament. That went on for like 2 months, if that.
Or with the Pride?
What?
With the Pride in the Final Testament?
Right, yeah. Like, they did nothing with that. They had a fun WrestleMania moment. Lashley's doing his thing. That's his last ever WrestleMania, probably. And you have the Dudley Boys. That was fun to watch. I'm a big Dudley Boys fan. Or no, that wasn't Dudley Boys. That was with the Eagles.
Bubba Ray.
Bubba Ray, that's right. And then the Eagles.
Dudley.
Yeah. Wait, the Eagles was for the Rey Mysterio match, I think.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, Bubba Ray, which I'm the biggest Bubba Ray fan ever. Bully Ray, you couldn't touch him in TNA. He was badass. You killed it. You killed the damn momentum. You're killing momentum for the tag divisions on both sides of the roster. You are killing the momentum for Dominic and Finn Balor. They already killed the momentum with Judgment Day after everyone left. You're killing the momentum with Tiffany Stratton's title reign, with putting her with Charlotte Flair. You're killing the momentum of the White Six, the Final Testament. You're killing everybody's momentum right now. And that's why SmackDown sucks. That's why, at this point, we might even see a decline on Raw. I hate,
Well,
when you have so much momentum go into one story for like a 2 to 3 week tease, and it just turns into shit. You do nothing with it.
Well, I mean, looking at Raw and SmackDown, it's not the same fucking people writing 2 shows. I feel like Road Dogg, they put up a LinkedIn or an Indeed thing around the afternoon on Friday hiring new writers for WWE. Gee, I wonder why. Because
Me,
Road Dogg
I'll do it. I'm in the creative team right now.
Road Dogg is not cutting it as a co-writer for SmackDown. He's not.
No.
He's not cutting the mustard.
Mm-mm.
He's gotta go. Get him out.
And he thinks he knows like what all he's doing. I never really believed in
Like
Road
Triple
Dogg.
H, here's the difference. Triple H gives a fuck. Road Dogg could care less what we think, and he can't. And Road Dogg can't take criticism.
We're doing a lot of great stories on SmackDown, and I think NXT. There's so much talent. Not. I don't. NXT. Fuck NXT. Get your show right. Well, there's so much talent and so much story on SmackDown. Bitch, where? You weren't even a talent. I hated Road Dogg. I'm sorry. Billy Gunn, Road Dogg. I fucking hated those guys.
Well,
I hated
Billy Gunn was the star, though. Road Dogg was his Jannetty.
Yes, and I agree. And then Road Dogg was used as this motherfucker who was like this. Yeah, I'm gonna use a fucking bionic elbow and see a fucking pop. Fuck you for that, Road Dogg. You don't fucking deserve it. Fuck you. I'm sorry for the F-bombs so much, but God, I hate when people were so vanilla. And then they go into they like let's say like NFL, right? Let's say you have this this dude go into who had a decent career, who thinks he knows every fucking thing. There's this one guy who was a linebacker for the Bears in the 80s, and he ended up being a coach, I think, for the 49ers or the Cardinals, or both. And then he acts like he just knows every damn thing about how to coach, about how to write, about how to do his whole roster. No, you don't know a goddamn thing, because guess what? You were vanilla, and you went and you found your stardom from being behind a guy like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Billy Gunn, and X-Pac. X-Pac was really popular because he had a great story with other guys. What did you do? You used a bionic elbow and had no charisma, and then now you want to act like you can come to SmackDown and be like, oh, we have so many great guys on the roster and so many fun stories. Fun stories, my ass, Mr. Dog.
He doesn't eat.
I'm sorry, I'm ranting bad right now.
Where's Andrade been under Road Dogg?
Where's Andrade been? Where's Shinsuke been? Why is LA Knight losing so goddamn early for the U.S.
Where's
title?
Carmelo Hayes at?
Carmelo Hayes is gone.
I have all this talent on SmackDown, and Road Dogg's doing fuck all with them. It's almost as if he doesn't care. It's like I honestly feel Road Dogg is like Vince McMahon.
I would do a better job.
Allegations.
I agree with that. I would do a better job with the creative team. I'm just saying, and I'll say it straight to the guy's face. I would be a way better creative team member on Raw or SmackDown, especially on fucking SmackDown. I could shape up SmackDown in a goddamn heartbeat.
Raw is fine. I would not change what Raw's doing.
I ain't touching Raw. I'll fuck up Raw. I promise you, I'll fuck up Raw. But
all right, I'm gonna head out. It's getting 10:30. It's getting pretty late.
All right, bet, man. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we'll do the stream for, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, guys. This is my 5th stream today.
Woo! Woo! Working boy. Woo!
Yeah, and I was at the gym today.
You want to show the audience real quick your thing? No.
Nah. Right. I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna head out.
All right, man.
See you guys. Have a good night.
See you, man.
Yep. See you guys.
Yep.
But yeah. I'm a big ranter, so like I will rant all freaking day. I told
Raw's fine, but SmackDown needs all the help they can fucking get.
And dude, I'm in the creative team right now, and I am learning about budgets. I am learning about management. I'm learning about egos, and shit. If I'm a writer, right, and that's probably where Road Dogg is fucking up, is giving Charlotte that shit. If I'm a writer,
I'm
telling Charlotte, bro,
like Vince was. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, and that's Vince's boy. Road Dogg was always Vince's boy. Road Dogg was always that guy where it's like, you can go to the ring with ZX and not get paid that much? Sold! Like, fuck you. And then all of a sudden you have this thing where you just think you know the fucking roster, you think you know how to manage a roster and create a story. Motherfucker, which story has been consistent in the past month? I'll wait. I will wait because there is not one. And if you try to say that it was Cena versus Cody, that's not even Raw or SmackDown at this point, and really it's mostly Raw. So he hasn't actually had a consistent show on his show, or I've completely messed that wording up. He has not had a straight up story and has had it consistent for a solid month. Have a solid story for a solid month, and he hasn't done that. He's changing everybody's gimmick. He is changing everybody's ring time, and it is all turning into like okay, you get a turn here, you get a turn here, you get a turn here, and we're just gonna say fuck all to all the stories because guess what? Everyone's going to face everybody that you're facing, which makes no goddamn sense.
Like he's pushing Pretty Deadly of all teams, of all
They're not
people.
even getting,
like,
they're
who
not even getting
cares?
hype.
Who cares about Kit Wilson, Elton Prince? Like, who gives a fuck?
Name me a child right now, right? And I'm not talking about the people who collects every single fucking action figure. Name me a fucking child, one child who has an action figure of at least one of the I can't even say their goddamn tag team.
Pretty deadly.
Thank you. But like, name me one child that has a single figure of one of those guys. Name me one child, or name me one person who even knows their name. I don't even know their name. I just know them as Pretty Deadly.
They were decent in NXT, but even then their ceiling was NXT. Their character gimmick on the main roster doesn't work. It's like the Vaudevillains when they got called up to the main roster years ago.
Yes.
Their ceiling was NXT. Their character on the main roster, their character was never going to work or get over on the main roster.
No, because
their
it's
ceiling
too
was NXT.
gimmicky. It's too much gimmick. It's like with Tyler Breeze and Fandango when they try to reinvent themselves. Perfect. But then they're like, if you have a guy who's just a dancer and a dude that's like a model, no one's going to follow that shit. No one's going to care.
No.
That's why they had to revamp the two guys and turn them into a tag team so they can actually have entertaining shit on SmackDown. You have to learn to adapt, and that's even something I'm learning right now with sports psychology and creative team is adaptability. You have to adapt. You have to change things if they're not working. And guess what? Pretty Deadly is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life anyways, because it's the most generic name for that type of tag team I've ever heard in my life. Plus the fact that you're right. It's like Tyler Breeze coming out of NXT and acting like he can just ride that model character into the WWE when it's already too childish as it is. Nobody wants to see the PG child freaking program anymore. And that to me, the Pretty Deadly reminds me of Brian Kendrick. It worked in the Ruthless Aggression because it was funny. Nowadays, we want fucking story. We want intensity. We want what the Attitude Era had. We want a mix of Ruthless Aggression and Attitude Era. Are those guys? That's what Road Dogg needs to question for himself. And he was in those eras, at least for Attitude, most of the Attitude Era. And he needs to ask himself, are those guys going to give us Attitude and Ruthless Aggression? No. The answer is no. You have to ask yourself that with everybody on the roster. What is the WWE Universe wanting right now? What is selling? Okay, it's this type of style. Are these guys giving us that style? No. Okay, so what do we do to revamp that? What do we do to make sure that we're not making our stories completely dead? And that is exactly what has happened to SmackDown. Every story is dead. It feels like nothing is having some end game at all, and we're just watching the product for basically nothing at this point.
Yeah, things are gonna change on SmackDown and quick. They're going back to 2 hours in June, but why wait till June just when you could realistically just do this now? It's right. Things gotta change on SmackDown and ASAP because that's how bad and boring and bad it is right now compared to Raw. Raw, it's legit night and day with Raw and SmackDown compared. Raw is so much better than SmackDown. And the fact that SmackDown's 3 hours doesn't work. They're working with a 2-hour roster and a 3-hour show.
Yep.
It doesn't work with a 3-hour SmackDown. And the sooner they go back to 2 hours, the better. Look at Raw at 2.5 hours. That is the way to go about it. Even like two-hour SmackDown, even 2.5 hour SmackDown. If SmackDown was one of those 2 time lengths, I'm telling you the show would be much better off. You wouldn't be seeing Zelina Vega, not much filler. You wouldn't see just trash on television. It'd be so much better off for it, easier to swallow, like easier pill to swallow, if you know what I'm talking about. Just It's much better off. It's got to change. It's got to change, and it's got to change pretty quickly, because right now it's just getting bad over there, really bad.
It's getting to the point where you're going to have 2015 all over again. Why watch SmackDown at all if Raw is just destroying them and you're just giving us shitty programming? I mean, look at SmackDown.
It's like they're giving a slop on a Friday night.
And here's the thing: that 2013 to 2015 reign, or I guess I can add 2016 got better, but like from that time with 2013 and 2015, yeah, SmackDown fucking sucked. One of the worst things, the company's ever dealt with in a long time. But the problem is when SmackDown is the worst, then even that timeline, you have a massive problem, because that means nothing is working. I haven't watched a SmackDown program in months. I'm not kidding. I haven't watched SmackDown in months. Like maybe a few months. I might be a little bit over exaggerating, but I haven't watched it since Royal Rumble at least December, because there is nothing to watch other than Charlotte pulling her fucking power. Maybe Randy versus KO, but shit, we've seen this coming. It's not like something we're going to be like, we got to flip to SmackDown because we got to see KO and Randy. Oh my God. Because then guess what? What else is there? Nothing. Cody's hardly there. He's not wrestling. You got Randy Orton. He's calling out KO. You're doing this little scared boy fucking, oh my God, I killed you earlier. Now you're going to kill me and I'm going to run away. That's already used gimmick storyline. Other than that, no Sami Zayn. Damian Priest, you're not doing shit with him. LA Knight, LA Knight's great with Damian or fucking Drew McIntyre right now. That's a funny one. But other than that, I think it's Damian or fucking I can't get it's Drew McIntyre and LA Knight right now, right?
No, it's LA Knight, and you got Braun Strowman this Friday SmackDown for the US title. But I think you got him involved with this Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu stuff.
Fire him right fucking now.
Yeah, Braun Strowman and LA Knight for the U.S. Championship this Friday on SmackDown. Exciting, right?
Where has Braun been? Why are we giving this? This is not Braun. Okay, I love Braun Strowman. I loved when he returned last year. I was there in Kansas City, Missouri when he did. That's the second time he's ever made a return in Kansas City, by the way. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. He returned twice in Kansas City, 2 years. In a 2-year span. What the fuck? Why? I don't get it, dude. Why are you giving a guy a title match when he has been injury prone and he hasn't even been on programming, and you have so many other guys like Drew McIntyre, like Damian Priest, that needs that push? You're getting your big guys into irrelevancy, and you're trying to make people who are already irrelevant and need to get that booster up. They need, like, give your main guys a push. Quit making them be irrelevant. Quit making their characters dead. I haven't heard shit from Damian Priest in so long because who gives a fuck now? What are you giving him?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
I can rant all night about this one. Hell.
Yeah. Anyways, we appreciate you guys joining us for the Raw Chaos coverage here on YouTube. This is Phyro Productions. I'm Nick Fiore, Furious Nation. Went about an hour and a half of this shit, but we'll talk more regarding Raw next week from London, England. This is also the Hardcore Sports Network, also Furious Nation on YouTube. Again, thank you once again for joining us here, and we will see you next time here on the channel. And hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we will talk to you guys later. Gracias.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Stuff such and whatnot. Don't forget the whatnot. Follow all of us, Phyro Productions, Nick.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll be back next Monday with more Raw Chaos coverage. Yeah.